Hi, I'm Terry from Waconda Boats here in Glen Elder, Kansas and Republican City, Nebraska, and I'm going to walk you through the 2020 Lund Pro V Bass XS 1875. Now this model they came out with just a few years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. It's gained popularity every year. Every year we seem to sell more and more of them. It's not only popular among bass fishermen, but the muskie guys really love it. It's also popular among just any fisherman in general that just wants that bass boat style deck. One thing I like to point out on Lund's Pro V Bass is that they're using the same IPS holes as they're using on their deeper Pro Vs as well. So from here down is basically the same thing as their bigger water boats, or a lot of bass boats aren't really known for their ride in rough water or their dryness. This one handles the water very well. They're using the same proven Lund IPS big water hole, but yet just a bass boat top. So it handles very nice. It's a very dry ride. A lot of bass boats don't have that same capability. Now this one's a sold boat. I'll kind of show you what options he put with it. Now this is a standard trailer. I'll start with the trailer. It's a standard trailer. So the difference, a lot of guys will go ahead and put the custom upgrade, but the only difference is the fenders and the wheels on this model. He optioned in the roller load guides and the spare tire. So you still got the same paint scheme as you get on the custom upgrade now with the standard trailers. It gives you that Lund Armor paint job. It's a lot more gravel pit resistant. He did the standard graphics. A lot of guys would upgrade the graphics to the 3D Chrome Lund. This one's also shown in Arctic White. Like all of Lund's trailers, or Shorelander Lund trailers, it still has the retractable tie downs in the back. Very handy. What you're seeing here is a Talon, it's a Minnkota Talon shallow water anchor. A lot of bass boat fishermen, or a lot of guys, period, whether they're the bass boat fishermen or not, are using these. They're becoming more popular. Anybody that fishes a lot of shallow water, it's a handy feature. You got a key fob, you hit a button, and it telescopes a pole down into the ground to hold you in place. I've sold this boat a lot with 200 horsepowers and with 150s both. The 200's max horsepower. A lot of bass boat guys want to max out their horsepowers. And then if you're trying to keep to a little bit more of a budget, the 150 is plenty of motor as well. It handles really well with the 150. He opted with the stainless prop, as most do. So that's the 150 4-stroke. Now over here you have a standard, like all the Lund Pro Vs, they come with a standard rescue ladder for a easy way to get back into the boat. It telescopes down. You got 3 steps there. It doesn't take up any room on the outside of the boat. This here will have a second Talon on it here soon, so that's anybody that's wanting to know what that is. That's just another bracket for the next Talon that's coming here soon. I think that covers the outside of the boat. We'll hop on the inside. So the first thing I want to talk about is the Pro V Bass XS, which means the extra seating. Lund makes the Pro V Bass in 2 different versions. They have the typical traditional bass boat, which gives you just a straight bench across here. It doesn't have these pedestal seats. It doesn't have the jump seats. It's just your typical bass boat, and it has seating for basically the traditional bass boat style has seating for 2 or 3 if you want to be kind of crowded. Where the XS comes in handy is it really has comfortable seating for 4. It gives you these 2 extra jump seats in the back, and you have the 2 pedestal seats here in the main cockpit. I don't think there's a whole lot of other bass boats out there on the market that offer one quite like this. So this has been by far and away the most popular one that I've sold, is the XS version, just because it has that extra seating in here. So I'll kind of start here in the back. You can see you have a large casting deck on the back. You got a spot on either side of the motor to put your pedestal seat. The pedestal seat as well is optional on these boats. It comes standard with the bike seat, but most people do opt in the extra pedestal seat as well. So there's a spot for that on either side of the motor, and like most of Lund's boats anymore, they do come standard with the ski tow pylon. So that's just the hardware for it. It doesn't actually come with a pylon, but the hardware is factory installed in case you do want it. All it has to do is drop in place. So that's what that's for. On here on the starboard side, the very back, you have a compartment that houses the battery, main battery. And then in front of that, your jump seat, you do have storage under that as well. Large compartment there. And then over on the port side, you have another compartment the same, only it's left open to use for whatever you want. And then of course the same storage under that jump seat as well. And then in between the 2 jump seats is your live well, very large live well. There's a divider, a removable divider in there to split species on one side or the other. And then in between your jump seats here, you do have what I would like a kind of a small glove box type of thing here. So you have some storage there and a couple cup holders. And then I'll go here to the passenger side. Now this is optional. This whole port side console, they call it, is easily removable if you wanted to take it in or out. He opted with the port side console. If you did not have that option in here, of course this would just be open. You do have the Lund ruler here as well. And then with the port console, you get a big compartment, you know, in the glove box. Now here in the center is a little cooler. They kind of build this compartment as a step up to the bow, so you don't have such a large step to get up there on the casting deck, but they do put a small cooler in there. Of course, you could take the cooler out if you wanted to, put whatever you want there. Now moving over to the driver's side, they're all going to have hydraulic steering, hydraulic tilt steering. All your switches are easy to get to. This is the key fob for the Talon shallow water anchor. He opted for Humminbird electronics. Normally this is how we're going to install them. This is a Helix 10. We put it on a ram mount here so it's nice and out of the way. This guy opted for 2 on the console actually, and he is going to actually put 1 here in the center too. You can see I don't have the depth finder yet, but this is the bracket for it and how it will mount. So he'll have 1 here and 1 front and center like this. This in my opinion is a better way of doing it than actually flush mounting it, just because once you flush mount something, it's going to be there until, you know, if you ever go down the road and try to replace that depth finder, it's going to have to find something of the same size, or hopefully you can still get another panel for it down the road, you know. So to me this is a better way of doing things. So you got some storage down here on the side too as well. Here's a 12 volt accessory power. Controls easy to get to here. You got 2 different cup holders. Now your main rod box on this is a very large rod box, holds 15 rods, lockable compartment, so very handy, easy to get to rod storage. Your trolling motor batteries go up underneath there as well, along with your onboard charger. So batteries are stowed away in the perfect place for weight distribution across the boat to plane it out. Very large, like all their any bass boat, it's got a very large casting deck on the front. A lot of room up here, a lot of storage too. They do come standard with this bike seat. All these are lockable compartments, just very large storage up here in the front. It does have Lund's advanced water control system, so all these compartments are going to remain extra dry as well. So all these are channeled, and so any rain or overspray that comes up on the bow will eventually channel back into the cockpit instead of going into the compartments. In front of those, you have 2 other compartments here, just a lot of storage. They do have these tie down straps. If you're just going from point A to point B, you can lay your rods down on this bow, and these strap over the top of them to keep them from blowing around. Another handy feature, you can see how we install the Helix on the bow as well. We usually typically use a ram mount here, so you can move it, it's not stuck in one place. Some guys could opt to actually flush mount them in this panel. Most though, I try to talk into doing a ram mount style like this. This is the Minnkota Ultrex trolling motor. A lot of bass guys are going with that because they like that feel of the cable foot. You can actually take this centerpiece out and recess that down in there if you would want to. So I think that pretty well covers the Pro V Bass. If I missed anything or if you have any questions, please give us a call or email us. Our phone numbers and emails are on our website, wacondaboats.com. I'm Terry. Thanks for watching.